This video is an introduction to the touch sensor, and for the touch sensor we are going to need to make sure that we have a robot that has a touch sensor. So you can pick MammoBot, BuggyBot, or RimBot with touch. Any of those three will work. That's under the Robots tab, and under Sensing we are going to choose the Robo500-2 challenge. And if we start activity, it looks similar to something you should have done before, but this time we're inside a box. We're inside a box. Let's take a look at that real quick. You can kind of see it. So it's not down there. So fine, the touch sensor. The touch sensor is basically a button, and your robot can use the button to determine whether or not it has run into anything. And so this is a digital sensor, so we're going to bring up something called the Debugger Windows. And I have to download this program first to have that available. That's important, actually. So until I downloaded the program, now I see Debugger Windows here, and I would select sensors. It's already been selected, so we can see down here we have this. These are called a debugger window. And we can see the values of our various sensors: touch, gyro, light, and sonar. Right now we're concerned with touch. And if we come over here, we can see that it is currently at a value of 0. That's because touch sensors are what are known as digital sensors. Digital sensors can only be 0 or 1, essentially on or off. And so right now, if we go back to our screen, the touch sensor has not been hit yet. It's not pushed in, so it is 0. Let's run this program, and you can see it's going to run into the wall. I want you to look down here. What happens? It turned into 1 when it hit the wall. Now it's backing up. It's against the wall. It's 1. Let's run the program. It's backing up. It's 0 because it's not pushed in. Goes forward, it's 1 when it's pushed in. 0, 1. Okay, so you get the idea. How do we program that? Well, let's look at our touch sensor program, and I'm going to draw your attention. Well, let's start out with this line. This is the line that allows the robot to use its touch sensor. And you can see it says while, and then sensor value touch, which is referring to our touch sensor, equals 0. While is what's known as a loop. And so there are a number of these kinds of tools that you can use. But what while will do is it will repeat things again and again and again as long as a condition is true. Well, what condition? That's what you have to put in these parentheses next to the while condition. So in this case, while the sensor value, the touch sensor, is 0. If you remember when we looked down here, that meant it hadn't been pushed in yet. Well, how long does it do that for, or what does it do while that condition is true? That takes us back to the brackets, and I want to touch on this for a second. In most of our programs, you only had a bracket at the beginning and a bracket at the end. But these curly brackets are super important, and pieces of code, parts of code, must go inside the brackets if they go together. So this is our main program, task main, and that has a bracket here and a bracket here, and everything that we want in our program must go inside the brackets. If you put something outside, beyond the brackets, it's not going to work. It's not going to be found during the main program. There are uses for those lines outside at times, but it won't be part of the main program. But you're going to see as you get you do more and more programming, you're going to have more and more of these brackets. And what it is that a bracket that a part of code, almost like a paragraph of code, should be encapsulated or contained within the brackets. So while these two brackets were for the main program, the while condition has its own 2 brackets, 1 2. And whatever is inside these brackets will be continued again and again and again and again as long as this condition is true, as long as the touch sensor is 0. So let's run this program. Well, let's take a look at it first. But this is as long as the touch sensor hasn't been pushed in, do what's inside these brackets, which is both are going forward, go straight. After, once that condition is no longer true, once the touch sensor has been pushed in, move on to whatever is next. And in this case, that's going to get us to turn a different way, by the way. We're going to turn by turning one of the motors backwards, the left motor, and we're going to do that for 1,000. So as long as the touch sensor hasn't been hit, go forward, then go past this bracket and see what's next, which is to turn to the right by backing up. And then, in this case, it's going to get to the end. It's going to only do this once. If you wanted to use this program to complete the challenge, you'd have to copy this whole thing again and again and again so that it keeps on making turns. So let's just check it out. Compile the program, download to the robot, restart. Notice the touch sensor hasn't been pushed in, so we've got a 0. We're going to run the program. It's going forward until the touch sensor is pushed in. It turns to 1. It backed up, and it was getting ready to turn. Then you're going to have to do that again and again to complete the Robo500-2 challenge.